It's all on you now, and just give me some reaction. I just want what you are. I like the way you move, really wanna get with you. Don't just stand there teasing me. Now it's time to show it through. Love.
It's another beautiful Sunday afternoon. This is Robin Minds. Welcome. My name is Ebuka Obiuchendo. Great to have you here, as I always say, on what is a special edition of Robin Minds. Today, for the first time, at least in this political season, we're going to be having a debate. Unfortunately, not with the leading candidates of the parties, but we're going to be having supporters of the two main candidates to this election today, from the PDP and the APC. It's going to be a debate, hopefully issues-based, between Team GEJ and Team GMB, which is, of course, the President Goodluck Ebele Jonathan, and his challenger from the APC, General Muhammadu Buhari. We're going to be having three panelists from both teams debating on issues as they affect Nigeria, most importantly, the youth, from security to job creation and, of course, the economy. These are some of the most burning issues in Nigeria today. And before I introduce the panelists, I want to make a serious apology on behalf of Robin Minds. I know that it was a serious error on our parts that we have an all-male panel today, especially on the day that celebrates women internationally. It was a terrible error on our part, and we apologize for that, and I promise it will not repeat itself in future. Let's meet the panelists here today, starting with members of Team GEJ from the PDP. I have here with me Anthony Ahilebo. He's a member of the PDP Presidential Campaign Organization. Thanks for coming here today. We also have here with us Mukhtar Daniyan of the PDP as well. Thanks for being here today. And of course, Ademola Rewaju, thanks for coming. You're very welcome. Of course, from Team GMB, who is members of the APC, we have here with us Ismail Ahmed, Chairman, APC Youth Forum. Thanks for coming here today. Also here with us, Akintunde Oyebode. Thanks for coming here today. And of course, last but definitely not least, Ikem Isiekwena. Thanks for coming. Now, the rules are very, very simple. We're going to come out in pairs to discuss these issues. You have 6 minutes per question. But how that works is I ask a question to one of the panelists. You have 3 minutes to answer. The opposition has 2 minutes to rebut, and then you have another minute to reply the rebuttal. All in all, each session takes 12 minutes. Now, before each session starts, we're going to have to toss a coin to make sure that everything is fair, and whoever wins the coin toss decides if he's going to go first or if his opposition goes first. At the end of the day, we're going to have, of course, 3 different panels of discussion with an opening and closing parts of the debate. I hope that's all clear. Most importantly, we're going to have to keep to time. It's a live show. People are watching. We need to make sure that that is kept to time. But most importantly as well is that we have to keep it issues-based. There's no personal attacks allowed here today. We are going to be talking issues. We've had enough of the mudslinging and personal attacks in the papers and, of course, in the ads. Let's leave it issues-based today. So that, I know we'll have some people sitting on the fence. We'll call them fencists, from what I hear. So maybe you can be able to sway some of them today with your points. So I hope that is pretty clear. Good? We're going to take a quick break now. When we come back, we'll be starting off with our first set of panelists right here on Robin Minds. Please stay with us.
We represent G-E-R. What else? What else? C. Come on, come on, come on. C. Just let's go. So let's dance now. It is my turn. Just won't work you out. I am ready for your action. Just won't work you out.
You're welcome back to Robin Minds. On this special edition, it's the youth debate, continuity versus change. And during the commercial break, we did have a coin course, and Ismail won that and decided to pass the baton to Team GJ to start. So we're going to start with you, Anthony. You have 3 minutes to answer. Like I said, Ismail is going to reply for 2 minutes, and then you have your 1 minute reply. So I start with you. Continuity or transformation has become sort of the theme for the GJ campaign. Why should we vote for him on that?
Well, before we move on to why we should vote for him, I'd like to acknowledge the terrible incident that happened yesterday in Borno State. On behalf of my principal, our father, your father, President Goodluck Ebele Jonathan, I'd like to condole with the people of Borno State and also send his assurances that the utmost best is being done within all measures and capacity that he has as president to counter the insurgents, as you are aware. We're making a lot of gains in that field. And then before I move forward, I would also like to acknowledge today, as you said, is International Women's Day. And as you know, Our principal, President Goodluck Ebele Jonathan, is a woman-friendly president, and he has shown this in his appointments. His cabinet right now is composed of very much of women of integrity. The CME, the Coordinating Minister of the Economy, Dr. Konjo Iweala, the Minister of Petroleum. I mean, high-level appointments have been given to women. I think if the women folk of Nigeria were going to cast their vote today, they will give it to President Goodluck Ebele Jonathan. If we only look at the NDA today, the NDA already has enlistments for women. We're also talking about the first female pilot from Katsina State. It's a woman. So a lot of opportunities have gone the way of women. In terms of employment, the U-Win and job creation, the U-Win, which is the youth in business who gets grants for giving good business plans. There was a session of it that was dedicated to women. So if women during the last 2011 election were said to be 50 or 60% of the voters that cast their votes, I think the president has focused on this class of people because they say if you feed a woman, you fed a family. And if you fed a family, you fed a nation. So I think the president has followed this through in all his agendas and everything he has put forward in moving forward the country. His mantra right now is Forward Nigeria. I mean, coming from where we've been through 26 years. I mean, 18 or so of these years has been through the military rule, which was occasioned by his opponent right now. That affected the psyche of Nigerians, but the president has, in this last 5 years of his administration, been able to turn around the psyche of Nigerians. We're beginning to become democratic. I mean, the clamor for the PVC is unprecedented. The clamor for people to participate in elections. We're having elections debate today. It's as a result of his efforts and everything he has contributed and put in. He believes in Nigeria. He's a Nigerian. This is a president that, when he came on board, to get anything in Nigeria, you had to know somebody. But today, nepotism is out of the U-Win, as I mentioned, is one program that people who I applied for U-Win. I didn't get it. But I know a lot of people who didn't know anybody and just went. There are so many amazing stories today out there, success stories. And when you begin to do things like this, you begin to grow the belief of people that they can survive and exist in a system without knowing anybody.
Thank you very much. Ismail, he pointed out women, he talked about electoral reforms. These are some of the things. Did anything stand out there for you, 2 minutes?
Well, thank you very much for having me. And I think I'll also join in line to commemorate and condole not the people of Borno State, as my opponent said, but the people of Nigeria. They are not only Borno people, they are Nigerians. So I think we should condole Nigerians for the death that's happened in Borno yesterday and multiple other explosions that have taken place over the last 1 week in Jos and in Kano and in Gombe as well. And for the Women International Women's Day, we celebrate them. The APC in general is the only party right now that has a gubernatorial candidate who is a woman. We don't pick and choose. We don't give them opportunities as if it's an affirmative action, as if they are a special interest group. We give them opportunities in clear political contest. But most importantly about women, the most important thing to any woman in the world is her child. We are worried about the 200 girls that have been abducted more than a year ago. That is what we celebrate on International Women's Day. That is what the APC is looking forward to rescuing if we change government in May 2015 this year. Now, clearly my friend has said a lot of things about President Jonathan. Wish him success in the fight against insurgency because we are Nigerians who want to see this carnage stop. But the bottom line is that this government has simply failed in the basic tests of fairness, equitability, and common decency. And that is why there must be change in this country. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Anthony, I don't know if anything stood out there for you in what he said. You want to clarify?
When he says the president has failed, I would interrogate that statement with a lot of cautiousness, because when you say a man has failed, you see the agri sector is performing. And you say a man has failed, this is a man that has brought about industrial revolution. They are producing cars in Nigeria. Do you know when last that happened? The trains are back. The roads in Nigeria are getting fixed. We have 25,000 kilometers of paved road right now. It leads you to question the change that my friend is offering. this change to us is a bit strange. You know, you interrogate the content of this change and you don't find substance. We're talking about a president that has delivered on almost every mandate. He says we don't have a fair Nigeria. People apply, I keep going back to the UN because to me it's an amazing, it's one of the first initiatives in Nigeria that you can talk about that you didn't need to know anybody to get the benefit. There's the Shopee GIS. You don't need to know anybody. People are being placed in organizations where they're trained and later on employed. If you talk about job creation, I was looking at the recent job creation statistics. We have 1.3 million jobs, as the ND had said. We said the BOI with all the disbursements they've given.
Much. Your time there is up. Okay. Thank you very much. We're going to switch over to you now, Ismail. I know your mantra is change.
Yes.
It seems to be the theme for your campaigns in particular. Right. Why is that an option?
Well, because I think it is the only option left. Because continuity of what? Of high rising foreign exchange rate that affects every other commodity, that has multiple effects, devastating multiple effects. Or the insurgency that has killed a lot more people since the Civil War. What exactly should we continue? Change is the only option left for the people of this country, for the survival of the system and for the survival of this country. And let me tell you something. Change means a lot of things to a lot of different people. But we are not preaching change in style, we're preaching change in substance as well. What this ticket of APC is bringing, of General Muhammadu Buhari and Professor Yemi Osinbajo, what they are preaching in simple terms is that this country has had beautiful economic blueprints and wonderful conference reports. Starting from 1995 to date, they are still sitting in front of the president's desk for implementation. It has not been implemented. What has always been lacking is the simplicity of absolute honesty on the part of the people who are leading this country. The ferocious patriotism that was born out of years and decades of struggle, both personal and official, of General Muhammadu Buhari in particular, to keep this country as an indivisible entity. That is what we are looking for, that honesty, that ferocious patriotism that you don't see in leaders, that decency to be upright, that credibility, that integrity to implement what is right and stay away from the easy discretion of what is wrong. That is what is needed in leadership today. That is what the APC ticket is bringing on board, and that is what change means. Because once you have that, the fish rots from the head. Once you have that, then it has an unbelievable ripple effect that goes round the economy, security, education, social services, health, and most importantly, the fight against insurgency. You will see change because we promise change. And we are coming from the part of a track record that has been proven over the last several years of a man who has been consistent on what he believes in. That is what the APC is preaching as change. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ismail, for keeping to time there and not letting me stop you. Anthony, you have any points there that stood out for you?
Oh, for me, the first word that stood out was ferocious. I mean, we have a president that is a leader of people. He understands the people. He's not a ferocious leader. He's a leader that is calm, discerning, and has a PhD. That, I think, counts to how he handles a lot of things. It shows his depth of knowledge. And like I said, we must interrogate the content of this strange change that is being offered to Nigerians. I know for a fact that change is a process, not an event. And the processes the president has put together has shown the real change that Nigeria needs to move forward. We're building on a substructure right now that has been laid down, and I expect Nigerians to see the superstructure with time. But we're on that road.
Thank you very much, Anthony. I like how you guys have been very, very on point there with your time. Ismail, in 1 minute, please.
Well, when he said that ferocious, the word ferocious is a ferocious patriotism. You cannot use nomenclature to change what I've said. So let's stick to facts right now, because it seems that the opposing side seems to be going away from facts all the time. I said ferocious patriotism as an English language. And then this president that we all want to love as much as we want, that wants change from institutionalized change, is what they say, is the same president that we have seen under his government that an arm of government, a constitutional arm of government, was stopped. The National Assembly, the Speaker of the Federal House of Representatives, was stopped by the police from going into the chambers of the National Assembly to do his constitutional function. To me, that is not institutional change. To me, that is a dangerous and diabolical method used in the calm waters. And we must change from that. People will begin to see things for what they are. Nobody doubts the sincerity or the honesty of General Muhammad Buhari. Nobody doubts the sizzling intellect and the commitment of Professor Yemi Oshibanjo or most of the people who are on the APC team. And that is what we intend to bring. Thank you very much,
Ismail. Thank you very much, Anthony. We're going to take a quick break now. When we come back, we'll be going more specifically talking about security and the economy. Please stay with us.